going on, Jerome's? So, in retrospect, Slinging Sammy Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback, obviously had a very fun regular season through Week 17, right? So, Week 17 was the zenith. Yes, did the Vikings win their Super Bowl that day? I mean, possibly. Because, honestly, the last two games against the Lions and then the Rams were absolutely some of the worst quarterback play that we've seen. Now, yes, it was the offensive line. Yes, it was the running game. Yes, it was the Kevin O'Connell play calling, all that stuff. But it was weird because even though Kevin O'Connell said that J.J. McCarthy is the future franchise quarterback after he went down with his meniscus injury, and this is going to be a one-year deal with Darnold. Darnold played so well for about a 2-month stretch, looking like a top 5 quarterback, that the Vikings, and we like to say that we call a spade here. I mean, the Vikings would have had a tough decision. And if Darnold would have led the Vikings on a magic carpet ride in the playoffs, I mean, all bets were off. And it certainly could be Slinging Sam Darnold's turn. But, I mean, the last 2 games were just so bad in terms of how could he become so inaccurate against the Lions, and also how can his ass get sacked 17,000 times against the Rams because he held on to the damn ball too long, right? So honestly, he was looking at $50 million per year, probably $150 million guaranteed on like a 5-year contract, but then maybe not so much. And there is some debate this offseason. I don't think there is any debate. I think that Darnold played himself out of Minnesota. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to be that guy. I'm not worried about him putting it back on 20 pounds. More fatties. And I do think that the plan all along this offseason, plan all along coming into this year, was Darnold as a bridge, J.J. McCarthy as your future franchise guy. Obviously, that changed when he went down with the meniscus. Otherwise, he may have started as a rookie at some point during the year. But Darnold, yes, did change things a little bit, but then at the end, I think we're back on script. Where Darnold, it's been real, it's been fun. Maybe we'll tag and trade you. Maybe you'll just leave free agency, and it's going to be J.J. McCarthy's show going forward. Long story longer. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just national media jabroni haircuts have to cover all 32 teams, and they can't really dig into the vibe of each individual squad. But a lot of national people still think that the Vikings are going to re-sign Darnold, and I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening with McCarthy waiting in the wings. So diving on in. This is ESPN's look at offseason, blah, blah, blah. Biggest offseason priority, decide what to do with quarterback Sam Darnold. His unexpectedly brilliant season on a 1-year contract could change their short and long, possibly long-term plans at the position. Like I said, if it would have ended different, I think that, yes, that could have been on the table. But the fact that Darnold just completely shat himself in the 2 biggest games of the year, I think that's a hard sell to the team, where you finally, again, Kwesi's plan was to weather the dead cap storm with Kurt and Daniil and Marcus Davenport, $62 million dead on the cap in 2024, and now you have your starting quarterback on his rookie deal. You can spend all that cash to build the team around, because here's what you do. You draft a rookie quarterback to be your guy in J.J. McCarthy, and then when he's on his rookie deal, you build a team around him. And by the time that his rookie deal is done, hopefully he's ascended to the point where he can carry a team as he's getting paid a premium contract. So then you can assemble a less compensated or younger team around him, and he's good enough at that point to carry that squad. That's the transition plan. That's what teams want to do. J.J. McCarthy, number 10. Pick of the 2024 draft, is expected to be fully healed from a meniscus injury in his right knee that kept him out all season. But can the Vikings really let Darnold walk out the door after the season he had at age 27? I think that they can, because of how it ended. I mean, for as good as Darnold was throughout most of 2024, the ending was just no bueno. And like I said, I think that's going to be a really tough sell to the fan base. And then blah, 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 talk about corners. And then talk about draft outlook. Latest on whether they'll resign Darnold. This is a red-hot topic around the league right now. Darnold played so well, 35 touchdown passes, that the Vikings have to at least consider bringing him back. But given what quarterbacks can command on the open market and how high the team picked McCarthy in the draft, there has to be some kind of limit on what Minnesota would spend to keep Darnold. I think that Kwesi will do a perfunctory buzzing at the tower, where it's like, hey, Sam, we'll give you 2 years, $50 million total, not per year, total. And if you get better in free agency, go out and get it. It's basically what they did with Kirk Cousins last offseason. Kurt obviously got the bag from the Falcons. And Darnold, yes, there is a lot of demand for quarterbacks. It's not a great quarterback class either. So teams like teams like the Giants, teams like the Raiders, there's certainly going to be a demand for Darnold. So I think that the Vikings aren't going to get in a bidding war. Also, I think they're just going to turn things over to McCarthy. Lastly, this is the big one. A big prediction for the offseason is from Benjamin Solak. I really, truly believe the Vikings will extend Darnold. They have the room for something in the Daniel Jones neighborhood. 4 years, $160 million is probably optimal. Oh, really? Oh, really? Especially since we have Danny Dimes in the sphere. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, if you give Darnold the 4-year, $160 million deal with like $100 million guaranteed, you're basically saying that he's your guy for the foreseeable future, and then J.J. McCarthy all of a sudden becomes irrelevant, right? Now, yes, you could obviously trade Darnold after a year, after a lot of that guaranteed money is done, but then you squandered the surplus of cap freedom that you have. So I don't know. If they can get Darnold signed that before another team in the free agent market offers him a whale of a deal, depending on the size of the contract, they'll either keep McCarthy or quietly look to trade him ahead of a bad quarterback draft class, see if a needy team takes the bait. I know that Solak has said this before, but I just don't. Nah, I don't see it. So I do think that it is a spot where, yes, a lot of the national media jabroni haircuts think that it's going to be a bit of a decision, but I don't think it is. Like, I think that it's clearly J.J. McCarthy's show. I think that Darnold, it's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun. If it ended differently, the calculus would have changed, but no, I don't see it. Although, I mean, I guess the team has surprised us before, but I swear to everything that's holy, if they give Darnold the Daniel Jones contract, just sell the team. Move it to China. I don't care at that point. But all in with the kid. More fatties. Now let's go. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Daniel Jones contract for slinging Sammy Darnold. Let us know. Comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.